What if someone could actually see the future? Well, today we're talking about a man named Professor Jiang, who, according to our source material, has this absolutely uncanny knack for calling huge world events way before they happen.
I know, it sounds a little out there, right? The idea that just one person could map out the future of global politics and the economy. It feels like something straight out of a movie. But when you look at his track record, it really makes you think.
So here's where it gets wild. The thing that really put Professor Jiang on the map was predicting Donald Trump's presidential win. And he didn't just call it a few weeks out. The source says he saw it coming years before it happened, back when pretty much nobody else thought it was even a possibility.
And that wasn't a one-off. He apparently also predicted the conflict between the U.S. and Iran. I mean, that's another massive geopolitical event with huge consequences for everyone. So that's 2 for 2 on some pretty major predictions.
So you have to ask, right, with a track record like that, what does he think is coming next? Well, our source lays out his latest predictions, and he says them with the same confidence as before. If he's right again, the world as we know it is about to change big time.
So let's start with his first big prediction. It's all about a major war and the absolutely brutal choices it forces on the United States.
This first prediction is, well, it's pretty grim. He says this war is going to be long and just completely draining, and he even calls it a second Ukraine. The way he sees it, America knows how to get into these things, but has no real strategy for getting out.
And this is the trap he describes. It's a total no-win situation. If the U.S. pulls out, its reputation on the world stage just collapses. But if they stay in the fight, it's just an endless drain of money, resources, and lives. It is a classic catch-22 with no good answer.
Now, that chaos on the battlefield is what sets the stage for a complete rewrite of the global economy. See, this isn't just about winning a war. It's about who ends up holding all the cards and all the money.
And that brings us to prediction number 2. Jiang says that Iran will eventually demand $1 trillion, a 1 with 12 zeros. Think about that. A payment that big could redraw the world's economic map overnight.
But it's not just about the money. The other part of the demand is a complete U.S. withdrawal from the entire region. And the fallout from that would be immediate. According to the source, the Gulf states would have no other option. They'd become clients of a much more powerful Iran.
And this is where it gets really serious for the U.S. A withdrawal like that could cause the collapse of the petrodollar. That's the system that makes the U.S. dollar the default currency for oil trades around the world. It's literally the foundation of the dollar's power. If that system breaks, America isn't just fighting a war overseas anymore. It's fighting to stop its own economy from collapsing.
Okay, on to prediction number 3. Jiang believes Iran will then control the Strait of Hormuz and start charging a 10% fee on every single ship that passes through. The estimated revenue from that move alone, a mind-blowing $800 billion a year.
So the final outcome here is pretty stark. In this scenario, while everyone else is losing money and resources, Iran actually comes out of the whole conflict way richer and more powerful than it was before.
All right, so with this new world order starting to take shape, who are the real winners and losers on the global stage? The answers might not be who you think. Jiang's fourth prediction points to a loser you might not expect: China. Look, a full 40% of China's energy comes right from the Gulf. That makes them incredibly vulnerable. Any disruption, any new fee, it hits their economy harder than almost anyone else's. And the source really hammers this point home with this quote from Jiang. In his eyes, this isn't just some regional fight. It's a direct attack on China's entire future, a way to cut off the energy lifeline it needs to become a true superpower.
Now let's talk about another major player in the region. For years, Dubai has been this shining symbol of business and stability. But Jiang's fifth prediction says that was all an illusion, an illusion built on a sense of security that he believes is now totally gone.
And this is interesting. He draws a sharp contrast between two Asian giants. He claims China just can't adapt to this new chaotic world. But Japan? That's a different story. He says if he had $1 billion, he'd bet it all on Japan, simply because its entire history shows it knows how to rise from a crisis, adapt, and even thrive.
Now for prediction number 6, Jiang pivots over to the West. He points out that while this huge storm is brewing in the East, there's another massive transformation happening in Europe, Canada, and Australia. He talks about these rapid demographic shifts that are completely reshaping the very fabric of those societies.
Okay, I know. These are huge, world-changing predictions. But this isn't just some abstract geopolitical game.
According to the source, all of this has a very real impact on your life. So here's how it all trickles down to your wallet. When global energy gets disrupted, your gas prices shoot up. Widespread inflation means your groceries cost more every time you go to the store, and that money you've been working so hard to save, well, it just starts losing its value.
And this all leads to the final, really sobering takeaway from this whole thing. The conclusion is that when these massive shifts happen, you can't count on politicians or the system to protect your finances. In the end, that responsibility is all on you.
So there you have it, the predictions from a man who apparently saw Trump and the Iran conflict coming. He now sees a world on the edge of a massive, radical change, and it leaves us all with one simple but pretty heavy question. He's been right before. What happens if he's